Mother sucker.
Hey Esco family, obviously you guys know what today's topic is about, my pregnancy journey. This is such a sensitive topic for me. I found out I was pregnant like a month before I turned 16. Me and Damien's dad were very young, and we found out because I was late on my period, and he kept telling me like, I know you're pregnant. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, you're ridiculous, I'm so young. But at the same time, we were so like in love, and I still have that love for him, but not in that way. More of like, that's my son's dad. I wouldn't want anything like bad happening to him because he's my son's dad type of thing. Pretty much it. It was a tough time because I never expected it. Relationship was growing to a point where it was getting very good, and it was like too good to be true type of thing. I was late on my period, and I always got my period on the 28th of every month. According to my body, that was not happening, and I thought it was because maybe hormones or like something was up with my body. So he kept telling me like, I know you're pregnant, and I was like, how would you know I'm pregnant? Are you dumb? But like, he obviously knew. He had a feeling, I guess. He might have like dumped something I didn't know, but hey, here we are. On the 5th day that I was late, we linked up, and I took the bus from Lexington to Everett, and he took the bus from here to Everett, and we linked up at Rite Aid, right next to my dad's house, and I made him steal a pregnancy test. So we didn't have all that much money. Just quit my job. He kind of just lost his job, so yeah. And I made him steal that pregnancy test, and I went to my dad's house, and my dad was not there. He lives with his friend, so I just told his friend that I need to go to the bathroom. I went into the bathroom and I peed on the test. Then I went into my brother's room. He still doesn't know this, but we went into my brother's room. I snuck him in through the window. So I was telling him to come through because my dad's house is like this. I was telling him to come because there's like a elevated rocks, and then it's just a platform of like plants on the side of his house, and like it's like literally you can get in through the window by like crawling in. Like, there's no need to climb anything. And my brother's room was perfect. It was right there. So I told him to sneak in through my brother's room, and I already had the test on the TV stand on my brother's room, and I was telling him to hurry up because he kept seeing if there was people or whatever, and I kept telling him to hurry up, like I'm trying to figure out like what this is gonna be. And I peeked over and I saw the test, and my heart just dropped. And at that moment, all I could think about was telling my mom. I wasn't even scared of, let's say, like a baby. I was scared of how my mom was gonna react. Look, it's my mom. I was scared about telling my mom. That's where I was, right? And then my mom came in the room. So, and I would just think of my mom when I saw it. My face turned so red and my heart dropped. I didn't know what to do. And then he came in the room, and I went like this, and I was like, he looked at it, and then he looked at me, and I've never seen him look at me that way. His eyes were like full of joy and full of like shock, and like, this is actually happening. And I started crying, and he just like held me. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. He just held me, and that moment I still could just think about my mom, and telling her, and that's the first thing I said. I was like, how am I gonna tell my mom? And he was trying to tell me to calm down, and when we were about to leave, he grabbed me by the hand. He took my hand and he went like this on my stomach, and then took his hand and went like this, right? And he said, Mommy and Daddy love you. And I was like, oh my God. And he told me that like he was gonna help me, and I believed him. I really believed him. So that like settled my heart. So I snuck out my dad's house. My dad didn't know I was there, and I made him go through the window, and we met at the bus stop. We threw the pregnancy test away. I kissed him, whatever, and we're so still in shock. And the first person that knew was Louis. Shout out to you. And I told my friend Amaya. So we only told one of our friends. We both decided that we were going to tell one person. I already was telling Amaya that I was having symptoms. I was cramping, and so I did not think I was pregnant. So I was cramping, and I was like, oh, like my period's just late. It's coming. Amaya was like, yeah, girl, it's gonna come. When I found out, Amaya was like, oh my God, the cramping is actually your uterus expanding, girl. Who knew that? I didn't know that. I wish I knew that. I didn't know that. I did not know that. Your uterus is like period cramps. So if you're late, take a test. Don't think your period's coming. I had a really healthy body at that time. I was like working out and stuff, so my body knew, kind of. After that, the day I went back to school, I'm not sure if it was I found out a Friday or if I found out like on a weekday. I totally forget. The day that I first went to school, I missed my teacher. I'm not gonna say names, sorry, I was about to say names. I wrote a note on a piece of paper, and I was so nervous. And I handed it to her, and I was like, you're gonna be so mad at me when you see it. That's my thought, right? And I go, don't read it until nobody's in this room. Her room would be full from 6 o'clock to the day she leaves school, because she was such a great teacher, such a great vibe. She read it, and she goes, close the door. You're not the first girl to come and tell me this. What are we gonna do next? She's like, do you plan on keeping the baby? I said yes. You know, I was very, from day one, that's what I wanted to do, because I know I could do it, and I could handle what was coming. With God, like, I could handle anything. I started crying, and I told her. She asked me if my mom knew. My mom did not know, and she said I had to tell her, because obviously when you're 15, you need your parents' permission to do everything in the health world, and legally. So I needed to tell my mom in order for this baby to get prenatals, and to make sure he was okay, to make sure I was getting checkups, ultrasounds, all of this. Like, I couldn't wait. And so when she said that, I was like, okay, I have to tell her. So I talked to my baby daddy. I told him I'm going to tell my mom. Me and my baby's father, we were in a good relationship, so we wanted to tell her together, and that's one of the things my mom was mad about, that I told her without him. But that was my choice, not his. Like, I made the choice to tell her alone. We actually wanted to talk to a priest and then talk to her, but my heart could just not keep this a secret. Like, I would see my mom, and I'd be like, oh my God, I'm hiding this. Like, I just wouldn't be able to. When I got from school, so Damien was conceived April 29th, and I found out exactly at 4 weeks, because I remember 6 days later I got my first ultrasound. So I found out exactly, I took that test in my brother's room when I was 4 weeks. That day I came from school, and my mom, there's a pond near her house, Concord Walden Pond, and she always went there during the summer. Like, it was a thing that me and my siblings did, and I was so rebellious at the time that I just never wanted to chill with my mom. So that day I was like, no, I don't want to go, no, I don't want to go. She kept insisting on me to go, and I was like, I don't want to go. It was because I was gonna prepare myself to tell her. And so I was in the same room. I got on my knees, I got the Bible, and I was legit like this, and I was praying to God that my mom wouldn't kill me because I felt like that's literally what was gonna happen. So she comes back, she sees me in her room, and I'm sobbing, purple, like I'm purple, and I'm out of breath, I'm crying, and she starts guessing what was going on with me. She's like, are you mad? Did something happen to you? Did someone touch you? Like, guessing everything, and then she kept thinking that she did something wrong, and I was like, oh my God, please don't do this to me. After so much guessing, like 30 minutes later, she's like, hold on, are you pregnant? And all I did was, and I was like crying like this. After that, I think I got something thrown at. I don't know what happened. She was like so angry. And of course she was. I mean, her daughter was 15 and pregnant. She called my aunt. She's like, what the fuck am I gonna do? Like, this girl's pregnant. She told my siblings. She told my stepdad. But that day, she goes, why did he make you tell me alone? If he was a real man, he would have been here. I'm not trying to justify either one of them, but my baby daddy did want to come. I told her to calm down. I was like, calm down. She's like, how do you expect me to calm down? She's like, tell him to come over here now. She had his number. She called him and told him to come here, and he had to tell his mom in that instant what was going on, and his mom did not want to talk. She was really hurt too. What my mom ended up doing was, when my stepdad came home, we all went to my baby daddy's house, and I was crying, and she told me to get in the car, and so we did, and we pulled up to his house. And his mom did not want to come out, and he came out, and my mom started screaming at him and was like, look what you did to me, look what you did to my daughter, have to pay where she lives, are you ready for that? And he responded like, yes, I am, and my mom was like, where's your mom? Like, she doesn't want to come out, tell her to come out. And like, she knocked on the door. After that, I looked back at my baby daddy, and like, we just made eye contact, and I could see it in his face that was the moment he realized, like, this girl is having my baby. I didn't smirk at him. I just kind of like looked. My stepdad was like, oh, look at you guys laughing, and I wasn't laughing, but he thought I was. My baby daddy texted me, and he goes, realize like how like much your mom's hurt. I know she doesn't want to hear from me, but she needs to take you to the doctors and stuff. So the day after, he ended up texting her because we weren't talking at all, and she did not want me to see my baby daddy. She did not want me to talk to him, but obviously I was. I found my way. Probably the hardest thing was telling my mom, and her reaction, and seeing her that hurt, and that also scarred me for like, come here baby. Let me know if you guys want another video. Leave this here. What is this? Yes. This.
Bye.
Say bye, Esco family.
Bye, baby.
Bye, Esco family. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification button. I'll see y'all next time.